Hey friends, welcome on in. I'm so excited to be bringing you another build tutorial video. Today's builds were actually inspired by the recent launch of the next gen consoles, the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X, and then I couldn't leave Nintendo out of the fun. So we also did up a Nintendo Switch, and these are super duper micro scale builds of these beloved consoles. They're gonna be quick and fun builds, but I'm so excited to show you them. Let's get in there and get them built. A friendly reminder to, of course, drop by our Twitch stream where we are live 4 times a week doing all sorts of LEGO building fun. A great place to hang out, ask questions, and just have a laugh, so make sure you come on by. And time to get this build and party started. We're gonna start off with our biggest build, the PlayStation 5. So let's go ahead and tear this guy down. Our PlayStation 5 is now fully disassembled and ready to be built. This bad boy comes in 19 pieces. It's about 1:11 in scale with an actual PlayStation. I went ahead and calculated those just for fun. And a friendly reminder that you can actually download instructions for these guys as well. Just head to the link in my description there on my website. Let's get in there though and actually get it built and give you guys some insight into how this came together. So starting off, we've got a Travis brick here, as they call them in the LEGO community. You might call it a snot brick with studs on 4 sides as well, snot being studs on top. And this is gonna allow us to connect things on all the different sides of it, except for the side, of course, we use the Technic brick there, which kind of cancels out the connection, but gives it some space to operate, and another stud to connect to on here. We're gonna put some 1x2 plates behind it to kind of lock those together. We're actually gonna use a round tile here to make the stand, and we're gonna put it on upside down, which is kind of cool. So that's gonna go on just like that. And then we're gonna grab these guys here and get them connected. And that's gonna build out the smooth but curved front like face of the inside of the PlayStation. Then we're gonna get in there and do up the top part as well. And we're gonna use some brackets here facing in opposite directions. That way we can build on both sides of this equally, and that fills in the space on top here, all perfectly. And then we're gonna do the curved bottom part. So this kind of matches the shape of, you know, the curved part of the PlayStation. Whether this is a digital or disc version of the PlayStation, I can't really say either way. It could be either, but they both have kind of similar shaping on the bottom. And then because we used brackets here up top, these tiles that we're gonna use to finish this off stick out slightly differently from the bottom part, so you kind of get a little bit of texture on the side and a little bit more of that kind of shaping that you would expect from a PlayStation 5 on the front. And there it is. Next up, we've got the Xbox Series X, which is actually our smallest in terms of number of pieces, coming in at only 7. Scale-wise, this one's about 1:9. It was a quick and simple build. I think simplicity really went a long way here to kind of make it look like the actual Xbox. So let's get it torn apart and sorted out and get building. Alrighty, time to get this built. That was pretty quick. We're gonna start off with a 2x4 plate as a base. One thing I will note about this is kind of only pretty from one side. You do see the underside of this plate on kind of the right side of the Xbox. So do keep that in mind, that it only looks good in kind of like one way, but you know, it still works pretty well for what we're doing here. So we've got the 2x2 brick filling in a big chunk of space there, and a 2x2 plate underneath that. And then what we're gonna do here is a 1x2 plate with a tile beside it, and that gives us some space for kind of this stuck out part of this little modified plate here, which allows us to have kind of a space for the quote unquote disc slot. And then simply like that, you can now see we've got it together, and that little disc slot really gives it that look of an actual Xbox Series X. Last but certainly not least is our Nintendo Switch micro build. This one comes in at 13 pieces, 6 for the dock, 7 for the Switch itself. I do want to make a quick note that I actually have an alt model available for this one as well in the instructions, or in the digital files, in that, you know, there was kind of a combination of parts that I like a little bit better for the actual Switch, but are very, very hard to get your hands on as of right now. So I thought this was the better one to kind of highlight, because I think more people are likely to have the pieces on hand for this one here. Let's go ahead and get this torn down and then get building. Alrighty, we've got all 13 pieces laid out here and ready to go for us to build with. Let's actually get started with the dock. And it was actually one of my favorite parts to have figured out as well. Makes use of some undersided brackets here, and we're using some 1x3 tiles to allow them to be centered kind of on the front there. And then my favorite part about this was figuring out that I could use neck brackets to attach kind of the face of the dock because when you put those on upside down on this bottom part here, it doesn't add a lot of height, which is good. It keeps the switch nice and low in the dock, but the spacing happens to work out pretty much perfectly to have the front of the dock kind of line up with the back. It might be ever so slightly higher, but it's pretty much perfect. Very, very unnoticeable difference there. So that was kind of really, really cool to get figured out. And then the switch itself just makes use of some more of those undersided brackets, but the smaller ones, and then just some G-slopes in different colors. You can make the switch whatever color you like. The Joy-Cons, I should say, whatever color you like, by giving them some shaping on the edges with some G-slopes here. Boom, you got your switch, you got your dock, and then we just put that right in there. And you've got your whole little switch assembly. And that's it, friends. Don't forget you can indeed go and download both instructions and digital models to use in BrickinNick Studio for all of these builds. That way you can go out there and build them on your own. I would definitely love to see if you guys do get out there and build them, maybe do them into different colors or something. It would be so fun to check out. Otherwise, just thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the video. We'll see you next time. Happy building out there, friends.